Welcome to Geek Speak Live.
Hello to you, and welcome to Geek Speak Live, the Scottish edition. It's me, Toddy McSpanky Pants, and Ginger McTaggart.
Hello!
No, we're not doing it Scottish tonight. We just thought we'd give a little thrill. I know my wife, she likes the Scottish accent. Probably not ours, because they're pretty bad, but so we give someone a thrill tonight. Hello, everyone out there in Geekland. That's what we're calling it out there. We're in our own little bubble in here.
We're stuck in this COVID bubble here at Kaboom Comics.
We're in a COVID bubble, are we?
Well, I couldn't think of anything smarter to say.
I was just trying to smarten myself up. I see my collar was all... Does my beard look all right? Because my wife's going to comment about my beard. I've got to have a...
Just do this.
I've got to have a trim tomorrow, over the weekend, because it's getting a bit wild and woolly.
Are you still using the Nico to change the colour?
Hey, that's a dirty, vicious rumour. We all know it's boot polish I use, not Nico.
Hey, that'll be blackface. You can't do that. Whoa. Allegedly.
Allegedly. Don't you put us in the poo tonight, Ginge.
We'll be cancelled before we even start.
There is a lot of stuff going on, especially in the comic book industry at the moment. I'm not going to delve into it, but
no.
I did see a couple of tweets today that said there's going to be some big, like a big thing drop tomorrow sometime. And apparently there is a very, very, very well-known British writer, comic writer, I believe, who's going to be in big trouble over the weekend for some stuff he's done in the past. So everyone's speculating at the moment, and we're listing what big famous British writers do we know, and could it be one of them? So keep an eye on your Twitter feed and stuff over the weekend. But anyway, we're not going to delve about too much of that stuff. We want to talk about fun, happy things.
Scott's already mentioned, how am I supposed to pay attention with Pfeiffer giving me the look?
Isn't she gorgeous? Can I pick her up?
Yeah, well, hey, make sure you touch it by the right area.
Yes, I won't touch the back end. This is the brand new PVC Michelle Pfeiffer Batman Returns statue that just arrived in stock this week. Ginge, you walked straight in my door this afternoon and you were like, oh, I haven't bought a toy in ages. I think I'm going to have to buy something.
Yes.
This one right here. Yes. Isn't she gorgeous? $90 at Kaboom Comics. Just going to put that out there. So.
How many in stock?
I've only got one left. But we got more. We can get more. So, yeah. We actually had a couple of brand new PVC statues arrive this week. Yeah, we had a Batman Man Who Laughs. He sold this afternoon.
The Batman animated series, I'm really tempted.
It's
really
him kind of standing... Actually, well... No, we'll show it next week. Okay. You can look at it online, but he's actually firing his grappling gun.
Yes.
And they've got the grapple coming out of the end of it. It looks fucking sweet. French.
I can just hear the sound effect from the Batman animated series in my head.
Can you?
Yeah.
You're not going to try and make it with your mouth?
As a...
How's it go, Ginger? Right, yeah, great, fantastic. It's a thrilling start.
And then when it hits the concrete, you hear a pink.
Pink.
That's the word it says when it grabs hold of some concrete. Pink.
I think you need to have your ears cleaned out. How have you been, by the way?
Good! This week has been so long.
I know.
It feels like it's been a month since we've done this.
I am absolutely drained. We both had to kind of pump up. We haven't snorted any illegal substances. There's nothing still there, right?
What?
Just to get energy for this show. And then we see these lovely faces popping up and we're like, oh, that gives us energy. Hello, Paul Clyden, to see that you're watching.
Hey, dude.
It's good to see you. Who else we got there? Oh, hello, Laura. Hello, Danny, Scott. Good to see you all. Now, Ginge.
Yes.
You got some news for us?
Well, maybe some news.
Take it away, Spanky Pants.
Well, we've been paying attention to this Flashpoint movie that's generating buzz.
Still apparently with Ezra Miller in the role of Flash.
Yeah. Well, woke up to the news this week that Michael Keaton is in the talks that could possibly star in the movie.
He was so excited too when he woke up. I tell you, he was all like, which is really awkward because somehow you ended up in our bed and Danny's like, what is Ginge doing in here again?
I thought you were going to say, he's like, and I was in bed next to him and he's like, what are you doing?
Danny's really wondering, can you hand the key back now to our apartment? Because it's kind of scary when we wake up and you're lying there staring at us.
So what they're planning on doing is completely abolishing Batman Forever and Batman and Robin and Flashpointing.
Well, sadly, Joel Schumacher, the director of those two films, passed away this week. Aged 80, wasn't it, or something?
It's and just about that, in the last couple of weeks, I've been watching special effects clips from those two movies.
Yep.
and watching the guys that did the sets for the models for Gotham City. And I thought I should really go back and watch those movies because Gotham City was so grand.
It was. Remember the big statues and the Batmobile? I think it was Batman and Robin, the Batmobiles, all the bike
sort of comes
goes
out
out
and
over
goes up the fingers. And...
Yeah. I actually really enjoyed the look of those films.
Yes.
But the content was pretty lackluster. Although, in saying that, Batman Forever had a rockin' soundtrack.
Oh, yes.
I still listen to that soundtrack today and just get goosebumps. And the songs from it. And
Yes. And then the soundtrack for Batman and Robin was good too.
Smashing Pumpkins, Jewel.
Yeah.
Foolish Games, was it? Was the song?
Foolish
Games are tearing me apart. Do you know, here's a little story. It's embarrassing to me, not anyone else.
Oh, do tell.
We're driving through New Zealand on our honeymoon, I think it was.
Hang on, your honeymoon, not our honeymoon.
Not ours.
Wow.
Hey, what happened in Vegas stays in Vegas. Shut the fuck up. Anyway, the lovely wife and I were driving through...
Thanks for the comments below too, yeah.
Driving through the South Island and...
Is that how you drive?
Driving through the
Hang on, 10 and 2, dude. Not 5 and 8.
Driving through the South Island going, look at these fucking sheep everywhere.
What hand action is that? Look at the screen. Someone on my honeymoon.
We're going to have our own friggin' hashtag #MeToo moment tonight. Anyway, I wasn't driving, the wife was, right? And she was saying to me, she goes, I just feel a little bit doughy today, come on, because we were doing a fair bit of driving over there.
Yeah.
And so I put the radio on, and Foolish Games was the song that was playing. Mm-hmm. So I just started serenading her, and I don't think she appreciated me singing Jewel.
What? Even in the honeymoon phase?
In the honeymoon phase.
You don't get more honeymoon phase than the honeymoon.
Yeah. But apparently me singing Jewel just wasn't that great.
So you should have been singing Seal, Kiss from a Rose.
Actually, apparently we've been asked how much caffeine have we both had?
No.
0.
No. This is my first Coke.
And I'm on Sprite, and I don't think there's caffeine in Sprite.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Jono said that Batman Forever was a great soundtrack.
It really was. Yeah, I'm not a Bono fan, right? But you two, Hold Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me, Thrill Me, Kill Me. Hang on, how's that song go again?
Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me.
Right, thank you. Fantastic friggin' song.
Keep going.
Michael Hutchence.
Yeah, The Passenger.
Yep.
PJ Harvey was in that soundtrack too, I think.
What's the song about? I can't think of it anyway. But the Riddler.
The Riddler,
yeah, that was a
criminal individual.
Anyway,
sorry. We're having flashbacks to 1990.
We were in high school. We were so pumped for this movie when it came out. Which is actually going to lead me to the discussion tonight. I was thinking about it. I thought we'd have a theme tonight, a bit of a discussion. I want to put it out there to our fantastic listeners. What is the movie from your childhood that stands out the most that you think of like, the perfect... Yes. The red-headed gentleman in the back?
Goonies.
You haven't watched Goonies!
Princess Bride. Princess Bride.
Fucking liar. For me, you know what stands out as a movie from childhood that also probably ignited a bit of passion in geekery, I guess you'd say. For me, was Ghostbusters 2.
Yep.
So I remember being a young tacker, and my brother took me on. Remember the old cinema tour where the sports club is? We're across there from where we are now. And they tore it down a few years ago to build a car park. A bit like that song, the paved paradise to put up a parking lot.
Yeah.
Well, they tore down a beautiful old cinema to build a car park. But that cinema, I remember going there with my brother to see Ghostbusters 2 on the big screen. I was a little tacker, and going along with my older brother, and he's like, I'll take you to the movies, we'll go watch Ghostbusters 2. And I'm like, woo! Anyway.
What's Ghostbusters?
Yeah, this sounds cool. Well, I had seen some of the cartoons.
Oh.
Right? And I had seen, I'd seen as a, because obviously in the lead up to that, back in the days of VHS, yes, kids, these were a thing that used to be about yay big. You had to put into a machine. You had to go to a shop and you peruse them and you rented them. Right?
Kind of like a library.
Yes, before streaming was even a thought. And it used to take great time and effort to go and peruse the video shelves to find the movie you wanted. And sometimes some fucker would have beaten you there and gotten the last copy, because some movies, they only got like 3 copies in, for a whole suburb of about 30,000 fucking people. And then you'd go to the next suburb and some other fucker had already beaten you there and gotten that copy. Sorry, I sound a little bit harsh about my Video Easy and Plainlands video days. But anyway, so I had grown up watching the VHS of Ghostbusters and loved it. And then the cartoon series, remember? The real Ghostbusters?
The real Ghostbusters.
So I had the toys and everything else. It was probably my first real fandom. I remember having the car, the toys. I used to make a homemade, the proton pack running around. So when my brother said to me, "I'll take you to see Ghostbusters 2," I'm
cool.
like, "Fuck yeah!" And there was a bit in the movie, right? So I
think I've heard this story, but you do tell.
My brother's gone. What do you want? Lolly and milk bottle. Remember the milk bottle lollies? I fucking loved them back then. I can't even eat them today. I don't like them today. I'm like, these taste like shit.
You've been traumatised by the events.
Probably have,
it's
fucked me up for life. Anyway, so he's got me a pack of milk bottle lollies and we're sitting there and he's torn the top off for me. My brother Troy could be really nice when he wanted to be. Now he's an asshole. But anyway, love you, Troy.
Should we put an allegedly in there?
No, there's no alleged about it. He can be a real prick when he wants to be. Anyway, so he's opened the lollies for me. We're sitting there and in the movie and we're watching it and I'm, like a little kid at the cinema watching the...
Completely obsessed with what's going on.
And you're like, oh, this is really cool, right? And there's a bit in the movie where suddenly from the bottom of the screen, this ghost just pops up at the screen like that, right? And as a little tacker, that ghost has popped up and I've gone, like that. And my milk bottle lollies...
No. It wouldn't have been that low. It must be a higher.
like that. And you're right. I'm surprised I can still hit that note. Anyway, my lollies have gone all over my brother. Covered him in milk bottle lollies. To which he just looked at me and gone, "Dickhead." But that was one of the first films that I had such a fond memory of and actually remember going and seeing.
Oh, shit.
And it really kind of amped up my whole, probably the beginning of fandom for something. Really got into Ghostbusters, huge after Ghostbusters 2. So that was my childhood film that got me in. What about you?
Well, just firstly, some of the fans watching at home have said their stories. Bridget has said, "An old fart here, saw Star Wars originally."
Ooh,
the original release before I started to cop girls don't like science fiction.
Oh, Bridget, tell them to go and suck on a monkey turd. Because you know what? Girls definitely love science fiction. My darling wife is huge. She's more into sci-fi than me. I'm more a magic kind of guy. I like, the...
Fantasy?
Yeah, the wizards and wands kind of movies.
Of course, fantasy.
I'm friends with you. Anyway, you Weasley twin. You're the abomination of the Weasley family. Anyway, so I'm into that, but my wife's a massive sci-fi fan. So yeah, when anyone ever says girls aren't into sci-fi, tell them to go and kiss rocks or something. Bridget, that was an awesome movie. My brother Kent, he's not a geek at all, but that's his big film.
Paul said Empire Strikes Back was
there
his.
There you go, another Star Wars person there. Who else we got there? Starship Troopers for Scott was a standout for him. One of those movies that was rite of passage from kid movies into adolescent movies.
Yeah, for kids around the 90s, yes.
Yeah, so there you go. Ginge, come on, what do you...
Well, Paul's just said He-Man Voltron 18, yes.
Ah, there you go. Hello,
G'day, Russ, watching at home. A movie that really sparked off.
As a kid, what was it? Was a movie that you remember seeing as a kid that you kind of really delved into then?
I think Back to the Future was the movie that I just watched over and over and over and over again. So much so that I could quote lines verbatim from the start to the end of the movie.
So much so that the local Video Easy, he'd come in and his dad would be like, "Okay, you can go pick 3 movies, for the weekend, Wade." And Wade would be like, straight over to the Back to the Future. And the clerk, I remember the clerk, looking at you going, "It's that little gingerhead prick in here again, taking our last copy of Back to the Future."
What can I just ask? Is there a when you commit a crime and
statute of limitations? You never took a fucking Back to the Future.
Can I just ask? Is there a statute of limitations on copyright?
Mate, Video Easy don't have any shops anymore.
Do they?
No,
because there was a person in my family that knew how to push play on one VCR and press record on another VCR.
Was that your dad?
And somehow you had
your own copy of it.
We had our own library of stuff. But however,
was the quality a bit dicky?
No, perfect back in the day. But Back to the Future, I taped off television. So much so that I remember the ads that were on during segments. There was an old movie with Dudley Moore in it.
Hang on. for those younger members of the audience who, are so used to streaming and DVD, there used to be these things called television sets where we used to watch free-to-air TV. And I know, wrap your head around this. It was very strange back in the day.
And if you don't know, Netflix is not free.
No.
You have to pay for it.
You have to pay for it. Your mum and dad might still be paying for it for you. But we used to have these things called advertisements that used to pop up. Little jingles. Remember the Cotty song? My dad
Picks the fruit
that goes to
Cotties
boom, boom, boom,
to make the cordial
boom, 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 that I like best. We are not sponsored by Cotties, and they can sponsor this show if they want. Do you remember the other one, Spray and Wipe?
Oh.
Do you remember that? I remember. Got a call from Miss Maguire. She's bringing round the buyer. The house looks such a fright from our little do last night. What a rude awakening. The house looked like a break-in with spray and wipe all purpose. I cleaned up every surface. Spray and wipe works faster. Baked on grease and pasta. Got the cleaning out of the way. We enjoyed our holiday. Say thank you. Ajax Spray and Wipe. Right? That's how many times we watched these fucking adverts, is that we can sing them, not very well, mind you, but we can sing them by rote after all these years of those.
Oh, there's one ad that I remember that was coming out at cinemas. It was Dudley Moore in a movie called Holy Moses.
Holy Moses?
Holy Moses! And I have never seen this movie, but I could tell you verbatim what the fucking trailer was.
Really?
Back
I've
then.
never heard of it.
Yeah. Oh, there's so many television shows. Russ has said Goonies.
Russ, don't start it. He
Goonies.
still hasn't watched Goonies.
G'day to Sean watching at
Sean's
home.
watching. Ads, didn't you press pause? Paul, when you were taping off free to air, you didn't want to hit pause.
Just in case you didn't hit record with enough time to record the beginning.
There you go. Paul has also said, my dad picks his nose that goes to snotties. Yeah, we all changed the lyrics when we were in school.
Oh, Sean just said Louis the Fly and Mr. Sheen.
Oh, God,
I'm
yeah.
Louis the Fly, I'm Louis the Fly.
Straight from rubbish tip to you.
Oh.
See, these are the things, kids, that we grew up with, and you will never, ever have to fucking experience it. Thank God, because we watched free-to-air TV for the first time in, like, forever.
Did it?
The other week, right? And every time the ads would come on, the fucking sound would go. You're scrambling along the couch trying to find the thing to turn the sound down. Then the show would kick in. You couldn't hear the show. Turn it back up.
And you know how we always say that the ads sound so much louder than the show
and
that
they
you're
always
watching.
denied it.
What they've done is technically, when you look at a meter, the volume will be at the same height, right?
Yep.
But the thing is that instead of just the little peaks being that volume, everything is that volume.
Yeah.
So it sounds so much louder. And
Definitely.
It definitely is.
Do you remember the old the public announcement ads for like slip, slop, slap?
Oh.
Slip, slop,
Slop, slap, nah.
and the one for people who couldn't read or write properly.
Oh.
Do you remember that?
Yes. But do you remember Norm?
Which I always found really funny, that people couldn't read or write, but they kept putting the fucking number up on the screen. It was like, what are these poor bastards going to do? They can't write the number down to call it later on.
But do you remember Life Be In It with old Norm on the couch?
Oh, fat
Little
Norm with his
cartoon.
terry toweling hat.
Yes.
That's such a nice... Any overseas people would just be sitting there going, what are these two guys on about? That was a great old Aussie ad.
Scotch just said, use the word alleged and you're all set, Wade. We allegedly had two VRs. Well, allegedly, Dad would copy.
There was nothing alleged about it. He's probably still got the VR. Have you still got the tapes?
I do.
He's a hoarder.
Actually,
He's a freaking hoarder.
they're at Mum and Dad's house. So Dad's incriminated by shit.
His dad's got the evidence.
Scott just said that Scott, are you saying that your dad used to do it as well? And he says one of the movies is Major Payne.
Oh, yes. Major Payne was a great film. Fizz has said, Marge the Rain. I used to love that old ad.
The rains are here.
The kids upstairs eating the corn.
Oh.
Marge, the rains are here.
Oh.
Do you remember the Gobbledoc?
Oh, shit. The Smiths. Gobbledoc.
Surprise! Did they kill the Gobbledoc off?
But remember a couple years ago, this would have to be 5 to 10 years ago, they tried to bring the Gobbledoc back.
Yeah, but they fucked it up.
But it looked like the Gobbledoc had sex with the guy from Goonies. Hey, you guys!
Oh.
See, I remember something from the...
Chunk. No, not Chunk.
whatever the characters
Chunk
was.
was the fat kid, wasn't
Yeah.
he? Yeah. Shit, we both really need to watch Goonies again, eh?
Sean said, Pizza Hut delivery.
Oh yes, with Dougie.
Dougie the pizza boy.
The pizza
Did you see
boy.
they bring him back? They
Yeah.
brought him back for...
That's because I'm sure Dougie ended up with a drug problem and probably really needed the cash.
I remember at the height of his fame, he was given the host of a kids' TV show. I want to say it was something like Amazing, the TV show. But he only did one episode of it, and then all of a sudden they got a bloke that had actual...
Talent?
Yeah.
Because Dougie was
didn't
just
last.
a pretty face.
He didn't last.
He was just a pretty face.
Sean said, yes, Dad would do it as well. Allegedly. Sean's gone,
You're soaking in it. You don't pay for fancy overheads. Sloth. Thank you, Jono. Sloth is the character. You're thinking the Gobbledock and Sloth
Yes,
got together
yes.
and had a kid. Do you remember, just and once again...
We've gone on such
we're
a
going
tangent.
down the tangent road. Decorate.
Decorate. Decorate. Decorate.
Shampoo my hair.
And
Which I've got none of anymore.
And the characters were using the shampoo bowl
As
as
the-
the microphone
See,
while they're in the
do you know
shower.
what? These ads they imprinted in here that we can still remember them all these
We can
years
remember
later.
this shit, but we can't remember important stuff.
People ask me with my date of birth, and I just, I got no idea. What's your name? Calvin Klein?
Sean's just said, bummers making canton.
Oh shit, that was a good one. Remember the whole giving
man.
up the Tom Cruise or the lamb roast? Remember that whole series of ads?
Oh, no, I can't. Mum's making lamb roast.
Yeah. Anyway,
Well,
we've
a night with Tom Cruise.
We've sidetracked, so we want to know your early films. What films jumped out at you? Films, it doesn't have to be one, you can tell us a few multiple films that really got into you as a kid, that kind of maybe kickstarted a fandom or something like that you've carried on with you through the rest of life.
Bridget's gone and said, don't give up your day job, gentlemen.
Oh,
What? That's a bit upsetting.
We always say we can't sing to save ourselves. Like seriously, we can barely tap dance. So if we ever got into trouble and we had to kind of tap dance our way and sing, we're up shit creek.
Let's get back to Flash and Flashpoint.
Okay, Flashpoint.
So Michael Keaton
Yes.
is in talks to be in it.
Yes.
What they're saying is that his character could become a potential mentor to the characters within the DC Extended Universe.
Okay.
And now wake up this morning to the news that someone else could be in the Flashpoint movie.
Now, is this real? I
Look-
know who you're going to talk about. And
Look, hey, I'm not saying he's going to be in it. I'm just saying I am all for this shit. I'm all for it.
if I was to gaze into my crystal ball, right, which I don't have one, just imagine there's one here. Right, it's crystal, so it could be there. And I'm just doing this. Or I'm massaging a ball man's head. I'm going to say Nick Cage
Yes,
as Superman.
yes,
Would I be correct?
yes. And that's something I have wanted to see. We keep on saying we would love to see an animated version of that Superman movie that
Yeah.
we never got to see.
Tim Burton's nearly happening Superman film. So hang on, is this real?
Well, look, someone has said that he's in talks.
Who's this someone? Give me names.
Yeah.
So it's someone slightly reliable in Hollywood as
Well, let's say it was on Twitter.
Don't believe it then. We can all hope, but I don't see it.
We've also been told that Dark Crystal was a movie that people remember from their childhood.
Yes, some people say
Robin Hood, Men in Tights.
We're
Yes.
men,
We're men in tights.
We roam around the forest looking for fights.
We're men.
Manly men.
Men in Tights. We rob from the rich and give to the poor. That's right.
Okay, that's the best you're going to get. That's probably the only one we can do kind of all right.
Space Jam. Scott has said Space Jam. Space Jam was huge.
Do you remember when Space Jam came out and the whole Looney Tunes thing kicked in again? And all the clothing. I remember actually
Yes.
wearing it to high school.
Yes.
You'd buy a Looney Tunes t-shirt with the Looney Tunes characters doing it like in the 90s style stuff. And it was big. Everyone wore Looney Tunes stuff. That was all flowed on from Space Jam back in the day. That was by the time we got to high school, though.
Also, the Space Jam soundtrack.
Toy Soldiers with Sean Astin.
Toy Soldiers.
Yeah. Awesome, Sean.
Dark Crystal, Last Starfighter. Yes.
Bridget said, I wasn't allowed to watch TV during the week, but you could pick up ABC on FM radio. So I'd listen to the Doctor Who episodes while washing the dishes. Mind you, it was easy to hide books and comics. True. I never really listened to radio serials. We keep saying, though, you're a fan, like in later life, Wade got into the old Shadow serials.
Yes,
and
the old radio dramas from way back when.
we have floated the idea over the last couple of years that we should do a radio drama.
Yes.
Right? Because you wouldn't believe it on this show, but we've done radio before. Quite
Professionally.
professional. We used to do morning radio. We did late night radio.
Yes.
You both have. We've voiced.
We definitely have faces for radio.
Yeah.
That's why we're doing video at the moment.
We've done voiceovers for adverts, that kind of
Yes.
stuff. So we've always said we should do a radio play. What do you think out there, Geek Speakers? Do you reckon you'd love to hear a bit of an old-timey kind of 1940s style radio play?
I always, if anyone's ever seen it, there's a movie called The Radioland Murders,
Yeah.
where it's about an old radio station like that. And I would have loved to have been there because they had like a little theatre set up where audiences could come in and watch while they do those radio dramas live.
Someone doing the old sound effects and the grading of
Can
stuff.
you imagine going to a little theatre in your town and all the actors are up on stage, doing the voiceovers, and the guy, like you said, doing the sound effects.
Yep.
And,
Maybe that's something we could look at. Paul said Hitchhiker's Guide on the radio. Never listened to
Wow.
it back in the day, but you
Okay.
did, Paul, and give us a thumbs up. Was it great? Who voiced it, do you know? Because Stephen Fry, he voiced the audio versions of the Harry Potter books,
did
didn't
indeed. He did
Yeah,
indeed.
I could listen to Stephen Fry's voice all day long. I like his voice.
yeah.
As I told you, I think last week, my darling wife, she follows R.C. Bray.
Yes.
And so she listens to a lot of his stuff, and yeah, she just loves his voice. So he could frigging read a shopping list, and my wife would be like, "Oh God, that is so good."
Talking about your wife, she said Spaceballs.
No, she's
Princess Bride.
she's just telling me to zip up. It's all right. That's a dirty joke. We've got to put a caveat out there in case someone goes,
Allegedly. She also said Jumanji.
yeah, fuck the original Jumanji film. That was Kirsten Dunst,
Yes,
wasn't it?
yes.
Back when did she annoy you when she was young? Like, she grew up to be a cool actress, but when she was young, was she one of them annoying young actresses? Like,
Look, she wasn't nowhere near as terrible as
you meant to say Dakota Fanning.
in War of the Worlds.
Oh God, I hated that with the Tom Cruise movie. She screamed the whole way through the movie. Dakota Fanning.
We've got another vote for Space Jam, and Doritos had the collectible tokens in them. Yes, the little Tarzos.
Fucking, we talked about Tarzos not long ago.
Scott
didn't
was saying that the Tarzos that I've got
Yeah.
with the little Velcro on the back are a collector's item.
we? Jeez, you
I
could
am,
be sitting
I
on
am
a
in the
fortune.
money.
Man, you can give up work, you can give up Geek Speak and just go retire on your Tarzan.
It seems like a lot of people out there watching would like me to give up singing.
Really? Is it
Thanks,
both
Brid-
of us or
thanks-
just you?
Thanks, Bridget.
There you go. BBC Peter Jones. Oh, Peter Jones.
Bridget said some brilliant radio stories, even predating Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
There you go.
Cool.
But there's
We're getting so many comments here. We're getting way off track.
John has said, if you like that era, try out the new Perry Mason show produced by Robert Downey Jr.
That looks good.
I'm hearing good things, Jono. So give it 2 thumbs up or a rating there in your comments and tell everyone what you reckon you'd rate it at the moment. So go and check it out. So what's up? What did you see?
I'll just see the comment that Paul's just written.
Do you know The Gambler? Paul, we may treat you to a special thing.
I'm
Stick
not
around.
doing The Gambler.
He hates The Gambler.
I'm not doing The Gambler.
We'll see about the
I
end of the
had
show.
a bad experience.
Kenny Rogers once bit him on the nipple.
I had a bad experience.
We'll see about the end of the show, Paul. Just hold in there. Anyway, Ginge, what else you got for us? Back on track.
Back on track. Game of Thrones news.
Yeah, what?
It's not coming back, but
He's going to finish the book?
George R.R. Martin is still writing the son of a
Oh,
bitch,
fuck.
right?
He's been in lockdown with COVID. What's he doing?
He said he's been writing, right? He said, I finished a paragraph 3 days ago. I finished one today. You know, it's looking good, but I'm not finished yet.
Oh, for fuck's sake. It'll never come out.
There is a convention that was supposed to be happening right now in New Zealand. He said he apologises. He can't be at the convention today.
Yep.
But he says, hopefully I'll be there next year, and hopefully my book will be there as well.
I wouldn't hold your breath for a day. I don't think he's ever going to finish it.
And what I don't understand is he's writing the book that season 8 already covered.
Yeah.
Right? So did he tell them what was going to happen in the book?
He told them where it was heading, but it was their interpretation.
So some of the things that he's writing in the book may happen on the TV
Yeah,
show.
because there was a lot more stuff in depth. Other characters were going to get more time and stuff like that the TV show just kind of tossed to the side. So if you're a fan, you'd still want to read that final book.
So would Daenerys still die in the book?
Probably. Oh, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, sorry. Would the dragon die? Well, the dragon didn't really die. He got speared, didn't he? And
Spoiler alert.
And he picked her up. And
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
I don't.
Anyway, next.
Universal Studios
Yeah.
was having a meeting with Tarantino himself.
Yeah.
Right. This was when The Hateful Eight was going to be made,
Oh, yeah.
and he went to Universal to get the money to make it.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Anyway, so the big wig of Universal Studios went, you know what would be really fab?
Nick Cage.
We could release the movie only on iPhone.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Forget about cinemas.
I don't know about you, but do you sit and watch movies on these things?
What we're going to do is just like U2, release how they released the album on your phone for free.
Yeah.
We'll give you the movie for free, and you can only watch it on your phone. Won't that be great?
And look at how the backlash against U2, even I did that. I checked my iTunes one day and I said, what the fuck? I didn't download a U2 album. Why is Bono singing at me?
Tarantino, his words was great, and then he stormed out of the meeting.
Did he?
And then
well done, Tarantino.
And then went across to Miramax and the Weinstein Company.
Yeah.
And got the movie made there.
Because there's Weinstein brothers, right? There's Harvey and...
Yes.
Harvey
Yes.
and the not creepy, touchy-feely brother.
Allegedly.
Right?
Can we put an allegedly?
Right? Harvey's... right? The non...
Let's just say allegedly.
The other
That's
Weinstein. I can't... Bob Weinstein, isn't it?
Just say
Is it Bob
allegedly.
Weinstein? So does he still run the Weinstein company? Is the
don't
Weinstein
know.
company still a thing?
I don't know. I don't think too many people will be going to the Weinstein movie.
Did he have a micropenis? Did Harvey Weinstein have a deformity? There's something...
Hang on. You need to say allegedly.
Did Harvey Weinstein allegedly have like a deformity down there or something? Something come up in court documents about there's being some deformity, and I'm wondering, like, it's got to be something to do with his meat and veg.
His bank account?
I think that was pretty good. But anyway,
Allegedly.
I don't know where we're going with that. What else you got?
Well, we'll just catch up with some comments. Jono said, Clash of the Titans was a big childhood movie for me. Original Star Wars in the cinemas and Raiders.
Yeah, Raiders was another one of those films for a lot of people that really influenced the beginning of their geekdom, I'd say.
G'day to Tegan watching at home.
I'll tell you another one that I watched that I don't know whether you knew this. Police Academy, right? The movies.
Yes.
I love the Police Academy movies. I even got the Police Academy toys. They had a range of action figures.
What?
Back in the,
Oh.
they had and each one did something different.
No way.
Yeah. So there was Zed. Remember
What?
Zed?
Yeah.
He had like shorts on, and you push the button, he'd drop his pants. Sorry, and he'd have like these really wacky board shorts on.
You couldn't get away with that.
You couldn't
now.
do that. Tackleberry, he had a couple of guns and he did a thing. Steve Guttenberg's character, Mahoney, his jaw, I think it used to be, would so they had these whole. You could get the Police Academy cars.
I would have thought
everything
Michael
else.
Winslow's mouth would have done that.
He had a little microphone thing that you used to talk into, and it would alter
Oh, no way.
little things. Yeah. So I'm doing this. It looks like I'm lighting an ice pipe or something. Not that I know what that is.
Allegedly.
Yeah, fucking allegedly. We just need to have it constantly flash up. Anyway, so there was the Police Academy, and there was a range of Police Academy comics. I remember Mum grabbing me some from the news agency back when I was a kid.
Do I remember there being a Police Academy cartoon?
I think there might have been at least one season.
There was definitely a Police Academy live action television show at one stage as well.
Yes, I remember watching that because it was his nephew was running a police academy somewhere else.
We got to remember that Kim Cattrall was in the original Police Academy movie.
Whatever happened to Steve Guttenberg?
He's still around.
Is he?
He was in a movie called, I want to say, Lava Lantula.
Lava Lantula.
Now this is in the same sphere of like snakes on
snakes.
Snakes. I was going to say snakes on a plane. No. It was even worse. It was even worse than that. the old Sharknado.
Oh God.
Yes, Lava Lantula with giant tarantulas coming out of the ground spewing lava. And
this is bullshit.
No, you have to look it up. It's an amazing movie, and what they did was
you can't seriously sit there and say that
it is
straight.
It is fucking amazing because they got bored on set, and he said, "You know what I should do? I'll ring up all the guys that were in Police Academy, and they'll just come for a day, and there'll be a cameo in the back." So every single day there was a different person. Lava-lantula.
And you stand by the comment that it's fantastic.
Yes.
How much cocaine did you take it for? Did you leave some for later?
Oh,
I think he's off his chops. Anyway, what are we talking?
Russ has just said yes, and Ralph Garman was in it.
Was in what?
Lava-lantula.
Lava, is he?
Yes.
So, Russ, you've seen Lava-lantula. Do you rate it as highly as Ginger? Is it a 10 out of 10 fucking film?
Oh, my God.
There you go. Scott said, yes, there was a cartoon. It must have been to base the comics and the action figures on. But yeah, so Police Academy is another one. I grew up watching X8 Older Brothers. Mum and Dad loved the Police Academy movie, so they become a family movie. And then I got into the action figures and the comics through that as well. That's my early days of geekdom, sir. What else you got there?
I spoke to you about the movie Greenland with Jared Butler.
Yep.
The trailer dropped today. Check it out. It looks like a really cool movie. Yes, it's the same premise as Armageddon, Deep Impact. It's a comet that's hitting the Earth and they're trying to escape it.
I think right now we'd love for a comet to hit the Earth and wipe out a few places, mainly one big place over there with a certain person in charge.
It's this movie is supposed to be released in August in cinemas, and it's the same producer that did the John Wick series and The Town.
Oh, well,
So,
hey.
The Town.
Good movies.
Yep.
So the John Wick movies. Circling back, Scott's popped up something here.
Yep.
He said, just to double back on the Superman Nick Cage thing. When you say Nicolas Cage as Superman, do you mean the decrepit Superman from the Flashpoint universe? Or will he play the Superman in the Keaton timeline? We don't know. No one's said anything. So that's all speculation at the moment, Scott.
I hope it's the Superman that Tim Burton wanted him to play.
Yeah.
The quirky, alien that doesn't fit.
Well, he'd now be an older version too,
Yeah.
wouldn't he? Like to match with Michael Keaton.
If go check out the documentary, what is it? How Superman...
the life and death. How Superman lived and died or something. Fuck, we'll have to bring it in. We have it on DVD somewhere.
It's a great documentary. Amazing. Some more movie news.
Yep.
They want to do a reboot of Twister.
Oh, with Helen Hunt.
Helen
and,
Hunt, Bill Paxton, and a young
He's dead
Philip
now.
Seymour Hoffman.
They're both dead now.
Yeah.
The only one still alive there is Helen Hunt.
Yeah.
And no one's seen her for a few years, have they?
Circling back to Robin Hood Men in Tights days, Carrie Elves was in it as well.
Oh, yeah, it was too.
Yeah.
In Twister.
Yes.
I remember seeing that in Darwin. Right, I was up there with my aunt and uncle. We went up on the school holidays for a trip with my brother in the truck. We got up there, and because Darwin has cyclone season, so we got in there, and of course it was just, I think it was the beginning of cyclone season, and friggin' that night we're sitting there watching Twister on the TV, right? And a fucking big storm outside, right? Big storm. And there's a moment in there where the storm hit, there's something coming at the screen. That's when there was a god almighty fucking bang of thunder, and the power went out.
And you didn't get to see the rest of it?
We didn't get to see the rest of it.
Did you get to see the cow that's in the Twister
No, a couple of crocodiles went by. No, seriously, it was a massive big storm. I think the power was out for most of the night and early the next day. So up there, yeah. So I never got to see the end of Twister. It took me years to come back around and watch it again.
Bridget just said as well, remake of Twister, add more flying cows. Exactly, more flying cows.
Todd Andrew Bailey just put 5. Which is really weird because I'm sitting here and I can't comment. So I've either been hacked. Are you on my Facebook profile?
I haven't touched the thing.
That's really weird. Someone someone has fucking hacked me just then. That's really...
They know that for the next 45 minutes that you can't do anything about it.
What does the 5 mean? Maybe it's my future self telling me in 5 minutes something's going to happen.
What's
Time travel is real, people.
What's freaking me out is someone has liked that comment. And
Who
all
the
the comments...
I'm looking at it. It says Todd Andrew Bailey 5. That's all it says. I'm here. You're here. We're both busy. What the fuck is going on?
Scott just said, when you mention him as Supes, I would really like to see him play the Keaton timeline Superman, which is why I'm asking.
Yeah, I have no idea. It's speculation.
When you're saying Keaton timeline, are you talking about Christopher Reeve Superman?
Well, so he was always considered to be in the Keaton time frame, wasn't he? As the Superman.
Paul's just said 4. There's a countdown gonna happen. I'm freaking out.
So am I. I keep looking around the place, James. This is kind of freaky. Anyway, what else were we talking about? What do you got?
Did you get to see Far From Home, the Spider-Man movie?
I tried watching it on the plane flying back from the UK at Christmas time. I tried twice and I just couldn't get into it. Couldn't finish
But
it.
people at home, comment below if you've seen Far From Home, because I haven't seen it, but there is a cameo at the end of the movie.
Yep.
With a person playing J.J. Jameson. A person we've seen play J.J. Jameson before.
J.K. Simmons, isn't it?
J.K. Simmons does a cameo as...
So he's coming back into the regular Spidey, like the Marvel
Yes.
universe as J. Jonah Jameson?
Yeah, and what he said is that I have already filmed another cameo for another movie.
Ooh.
So that character must be continuing on. It's almost like they're tying the original Spider-Man into this.
They probably will. It's going to be, like, they've hinted at a multiverse at Marvel, so maybe they can bring a lot of that stuff together now. So, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting.
Is it kind of like how the guy that played Q throughout all this,
Even though Bond kept changing,
Yeah.
Q was always the same.
or Alfred in the original Batman?
Michael
Goff?
Goff,
Or
yeah, Go, however you pronounced it.
Yeah. But through the Batman timeline?
He was a great
He
Alfred.
was.
He really... it's meant to be served cold.
I remember then the movie, he's taken a few spoonfuls and it's cold.
Bridget said, still think Galaxy Quest was brilliant.
Galaxy Quest was great. Bridget, if you haven't checked it out, check out the documentary about Galaxy Quest. Really cool to see some of the behind the scenes about that movie.
I don't know what Scott's saying is lame. What's lame, Scott? What was lame that he watched? What was it? Which one did we talk about that you said was lame? Anyway, going to talk about comics for a second.
Oh.
So, King's Comics have just announced that they're getting some of the books in over the coming next 2 months or so for Free Comic Book Day.
Yep.
Only, it's not going to be free. Kings have said because of freight costs and everything else, they're not actually holding an event in store. Their new store opens next weekend in Sydney, but they're going to have you can only allow 15 people in at a time per floor. It's a 2-floor store, the big new King's Comics in Sydney.
Cool.
So people will have to line up, they'll count them out and let them go in over, and you'll be timed in there. You won't just be able to stay in there for an hour. You'll, kind of shuffle along, look, ooh, pretty, shop, out you go. Anyway, Kings have announced that they're going to put the books online and they're going to charge $1. Because they said with the way that the costs...
really?
Yeah, because they're not free to us anyway.
Yes.
Comic shops have to buy them to be able to give them away. But with the way freight is at the moment and everything else, all the costs are gone up. So King said, look, sadly, we're going to have to charge for these books. Other stores are still weighing up what to do around the country. If we're able to, we're probably actually going to drop them this year. We'll just do Free Comic Book Day next year.
Okay.
I know Brisbane, Comics Etc., James down there is talking about doing it, but I don't know that he's going to put a price on them or not yet. But he did say he's going to cut right back the amount of books that he has. So, look, Free Comic Book Day this year, it's on, but it's not, if you know what I mean. It's not a day. It's going to be over a few weeks, and stores in Australia don't expect us to walk in and get free stuff. It may not happen.
Wow.
So
Interesting.
Now, what I do want to also do, on behalf of Kaboom Comics, by the way, I want to give a massive shout out to John Somariva and David Yarden and all the fantastic people from #Aussies for Comics. So remember we spruiked that about a month and a bit ago, where they were doing art auctions to raise money for Australian comic book stores. Well, it ended. They'd raised a certain amount of money. They contacted a bunch of stores. We were lucky enough to be one of them. And they gave us some money. So it was just under $2,000 to go towards operating costs and bills and that during COVID.
Yep.
So very, very much appreciated. Thanks to John and David for spearheading it, and all the wonderful creators who jumped on board and who auctioned off their artwork and gave their time doing sketches and stuff like that to auction off.
Oh, wow.
Thank you so much. And I know we're just one comic shop in Australia that benefited from that amazing initiative, and we just want to say thank you. Tip of the hat, gentlemen and ladies, and thank you so much. So yeah,
that is very cool.
See, Aussie creators, when they band together, they can do amazing things. What else you got for me?
I checked out Space Force. Absolutely loved the Netflix television show.
Told you you would.
Absolutely loved it. Binged the whole series. So
Steve Carell is fantastic in the role. John Malkovich.
The problem is we're going to have to wait like a year or something for there to be another series because of COVID and everything that's happening. Anyway, news out recently is that Netflix and the makers of Space Force want to do some merchandise.
Yep.
So they've put in the trademark for the name Space Force. Problem is the government may want the name Space Force for Space Force.
Yeah, so they're probably going to end up copywriting it down the track. Or...
Yeah, see, the thing, what I've been told is that the government's really lax about copyright and shit.
Yeah.
Like,
the US government we're talking about.
yeah. Like,
Allegedly.
Like the US Navy or the US Army, right? They don't usually copyright those names. So people have been, putting those names onto merchandise like hoodies and stuff.
Yeah.
And then the Army will come along and go, yeah, we want that copyright. We'll just take it.
Oh,
So-
okay. Well,
So, yes.
you think the Copyright Patent Office is government owned, so they can do whatever the fuck they want.
So, yes. So maybe if you see some gear with Space Force written on it, hurry up and get it.
Buy
Because
it now.
It might not be around forever.
I'm just going to catch up on a few things here.
Yes.
Scott was talking about Far From Home. He said it was lame. Yeah, I could try to watch it twice, couldn't get into it. Jono has said, I noticed you have Something Is Killing the Children in trade again at Kaboom. Great book. Anyone who hasn't done so should buy and enjoy this great horror actioner book. Wonderful. Thank you, Jono, for the shout out on that. Yes, we did just get it back in. It's all selling like hotcakes, that book, worldwide. So I think it's going back to print yet again. So yeah, keep checking with us. I know we've got a copy in at the moment, but you'd want to jump on it pretty quick. But more copies will be available very, very soon at your local comic book store.
Can I do a bit of show and tell?
Yeah.
Ching-ching!
Let me hold it up for the punters at home.
Ladies and gentlemen, my movie for this week, Hudson Hawk. For when you don't need to have a watch to time how long you are stealing from a museum
All
or
you
a
do is
bank.
sing a song.
Just sing a song that goes for 3 minutes 12.
How would you like to swing on a star? Carry moonbeams home in a jar and be better off than you are. Ooh, or would you rather be a mule? Anyway,
So the whole premise is that our friend Bruce Willis gets out of jail,
never met the man, but
gets blackmailed into robbing a museum, and their shtick is that instead of having a stopwatch to figure out how long the job is taking,
he sings a
he
song.
sings a song.
That's timed to how long he knows he's got to get in and out.
Exactly right. Fun 90s movie. Check
Love
it
it.
out.
It's a fantastic film.
And great soundtrack.
We first saw that when we were in high school.
Oh,
And I think that we were singing the songs, oh, we ain't got a barrel of money. And that's when he's walking along with a
yeah, like a rocket launcher type
rocket launcher
thing.
and he fires it off every time. Yeah. Awesome film. That's a solid 5 out of 5.
And
Hudson Hawk.
Richard E. Grant is in this movie. Richard E. Grant. So you know it's decent.
Should I know who Richard E. Grant is?
That guy.
Oh, yes, okay.
He's an actor. So you know it's going
actor.
He's an actor. Anyway,
Right.
If you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. I love that movie.
Actually, Russ has said one of my favourite Bruce Willis flicks. Yeah.
Yes!
Yep. By the way, side note, Russ has put in Netflix picked up Cobra Kai Season 3. Unrelated but
Yes.
interesting. Yes, that's right. Russ, it was looking for a new home, and when they announced it, one of the main actors said, we've found a new dojo over at Netflix. So
It was interesting because it started off at YouTube and now, has gone to Netflix.
I'm surprised YouTube let that go.
Ah.
But anyway, it is what it is.
Russ has just gone, Bunny, Bobo.
You're going to watch the movie.
Ah, such an inside joke.
Movie.
Oh, Russ.
You know what we watched last night, the lovely wife and I?
What?
What?
Sorry.
We watched King Arthur!
Yeah, because I wasn't invited because I'm not allowed over anymore.
I'm sure you were peeking through the fucking curtains again. We watched the guy... You're right? We watched the... You're right? Die on someone else's time.
Excuse me, I'll have a drink.
We watched the Guy Ritchie King Arthur film, right, last night with Charlie Hunnam
Yeah.
and Eric Bana and Jude Law in it. And I tell you what, fantastic movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Did it have that the same thing as Sherlock Holmes, the speed up, slow down stuff?
Yes, it did. It's very much a Guy Ritchie film,
Okay.
and it's got a thumping soundtrack in
Yeah,
parts that,
yeah. Okay.
and I tell you what, Charlie Hunnam, fantastic actor. I loved him as Jax Teller in Sons of Anarchy, but he's really, really good in King Arthur. But here's the interesting thing. Did you know it was meant to be a 6-part series?
Oh, shit,
Films,
6?
6 films, right, originally. And it was going to do a whole thing about King Arthur's history throughout and he was going to take on different
The creation of the round
thing
table and everything?
Well, you get to that at the end of this film.
What?
But anyway,
Sorry, that was a bit high.
It was awfully high. My fucking ear is ringing from that. Anyway, so they were all G'd up.
Yeah,
Blah,
yeah.
blah. Guy Ritchie had this plan. It was going to be 6 films, and first one bombed. So
Did Merlin come in this?
no, you see. I think you see a flashback to Merlin,
Okay.
but there's a female mage, and she's there helping him do the whole with the sword, in the stone. And
Interesting.
Eric Banner is in it. He's fantastic, and yeah. So
Is
anyway,
he a good guy or a bad guy?
he's Uther Pendragon, so Arthur's father.
Oh,
Yeah, and Jude Law's his uncle, who's a bit of a.
really?
Pardon the French there, ladies, but he really is. He plays a real. See you in the NT.
See you next Thursday.
Yeah, see you next Thursday. Or see you in the NT.
Wow.
Saw that on a car the other day, and I went, that car's swearing, and they went, oh no, it's an ad for the Northern Territory. See you in the NT.
Bridget says, talking about thumping soundtrack, Lady Hawk. That's Michelle Pfeiffer, right? I've never seen that movie.
I did. My wife made me watch that.
Was it any good?
No, I didn't like it. That's just me. Right?
But did it have a thumping soundtrack?
She made me watch Dark Crystal with her as well.
Yeah, what did you think of Dark
I
Crystal?
didn't like it. I don't like Labyrinth either. I don't like fucking Muppets and a podcast with one.
Well, talking Muppets, they've just had a trailer released today for a new Muppets TV show on Netflix.
Really?
Called Muppets Now.
No.
Your wife has just commented, I love
I
Lady Hawk.
know she loves. She got me to watch it with her, and I'm.
That's Michelle Pfeiffer in back in the 80s, right?
Yeah.
And she had a short haircut.
I
I don't know. I've just seen the album. I say album cover, the VHS cover.
Oh God, never shown her age. Anyway, so we watched that, and there's another film I put a few people onto this week. If you like, it's not geeky or anything, unless you're into poker and stuff. But it's a real life story, based on real events, and it's called Molly's Game on Netflix at the moment. It's about Molly Bloom, who ran the gambling, the poker games in Los Angeles for all the celebrities that used to play, like Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, and all that. And it shows she was a former athlete, she was nearly an Olympic skier or whatever.
Oh, wow.
Had an accident, buggered off to LA for a gap year, and fell in through the guy she was working with running these games, and thought I could take it on and do it myself. And there's a character in there called Player X, right? Because she's written a book. This is all based on her book. Now, in her book, she only ever named 4 people, actually by name, who played in the games. And those 4 people, the reason she did that is those 4 people were already named in a different deposition from one of the former players.
Yep.
So, but she would never name any of the other celebrities or anything like that. And she had all the info on them, but she said it would ruin marriages, it would ruin careers, all that. So she kept them out of the zip, right? But Player X, who was the linchpin for the games in LA, it's very it's 99% allegedly.
Is it Ben Affleck?
No,
No?
they reckon Tobey Maguire was.
Really?
Yeah, it's played by Michael Cera in the film.
Shit.
And he's a bit of work when you kind of delve into the character. You go, yeah, okay, I can probably see. And yeah,
Wow.
There's a reason why Tobey Maguire wouldn't want that out there because it doesn't paint him in a very nice light. But anyway, she then went off and did games in New York and kicked it off there before eventually getting arrested. And because when it started out, and I never knew this, but it's not illegal to run a poker game as long as you're not taking a rake. Now, a rake is a percentage from the table.
Okay.
Right? And that's to help go towards covering if a player, doesn't cover their debts at the end of the night, you're on the hook for it. You've got money there to put towards paying it out until you get the money out of the player or whatever else, right? So if you don't take a rake, in America, it wasn't actually illegal. So the game she was running, most of the time she was in LA, weren't actually illegal, right?
Okay.
So she made her money on tips. So the guys that come in might be a $50,000 buy-in, and the guys are then buying extra chips at $10,000 a hit.
Yep.
Give me another 10, give me another 10. At the end of the night, the players would all tip her anywhere from, say, $2,000 to $5,000. So she'd walk away some nights. After she'd paid her costs out, she might clear, $15,000 a night.
Whoa.
Right? So she built up quite a good sum of money, and then Player X cuts her off, essentially. Right? And I'm not going to ruin the film. There's tons to go into here. So during the film, it cuts back and forward between time because she is obviously dealing with being arrested, charged by the FBI and the government. She has to go get a lawyer. She gets Idris Elba, one of the top flight lawyers in New York. It flashes back to stuff with her dad. Her dad is played by Kevin Costner.
Oh, wow.
So look, it's a really freaking good film. It's really, really good. But when she got to New York, she was getting massive players, right? So it went from 50,000 buy-in to 250,000 buy-in, right?
Holy shit.
So one of her girls who was working for her goes, look, you've got to start protecting yourself. One of these guys doesn't pay up. you're on the hook for a ton of money. You really need to take a rake. And by this stage, she's into drugs and everything. You know, life was really starting to get messed up. And she obviously wasn't thinking clear, so she starts... And the minute she took her first rake from the game, illegal. So before that, she could have kept going. If she had just not done that, she could have been... Anyway, so if you love real-life stories and you love the whole poker thing and all that kind of stuff, you know, a little bit of celebrity scandal kind of stuff in there, check it out. Molly's Game. It's on Netflix. 10 out of 10. Fucking really, really enjoyed it.
Russ has just commented, great cast. Yeah, it sounds amazing.
I meant to say, Jessica Chastain plays Molly Bloom.
Oh, shit.
So the real Molly Bloom, I think Aaron Sorkin was one of the gamblers in Los Angeles that used to play, and he's the guy behind the film. And so he has said on record that, Molly Bloom approached him and said, I want Jessica Chastain to play me in the movie. And so that's what happened. Jessica, and she's great in the role. Fantastic in the role. So there you go. Molly's Game. It's on Netflix. Do yourself a favour and check it on out.
Talking Jessica Chastain, there was a trailer that was dropped today called Ava, where Jessica Chastain plays an assassin who is hired to take out very high-profile
John
targets.
Malkovich, Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell is in it as well.
Yep.
Colin Farrell puts out a hit on her.
Yeah.
And holy shit, man!
If you like spy, killer, assassin-y movies, this thing is just... You sent me the trailer and I just sat there... I watched it. I was doing work, I swear. But I watched it and I just went, an outlet. Thank God there's no one in the shop. I'm just like, fuck yeah. I think I even then messaged you and just went, fuck yeah. So it's a movie. Watch the trailer. I reckon you're going to love it.
It is.
You were saying it was meant to be named something else?
Yeah, so the history of this movie is that there was another director on board. He was taken off the project. The original title for the movie was Eve, E-V-E.
Yep.
But the new director has come on board. They've changed the name of the movie to Ava. And Ava is the character name of Jessica Chastain in the movie.
She looks amazing in the role too. I love her as an actress, actually. Jessica Chastain.
Good to see a redhead in the main character.
The redheads are coming back.
Yeah.
I married her. My wife is technically a redhead.
His real wife.
My real wife, not him.
No.
Not him. I mean, dude, you're good. You're good, but you're not good looking. Ladies, he is single. Let's hook him up with someone out there. Ladies. Phone on in now, and I'll set you up on a date with this magnificent hunk of man spunk.
While you were talking about watching real life movies...
I thought you were going to say Real Housewives or something.
No.
Like, I have not watched that in my life. Shut up.
Ixnay on
the housewife, yay.
You've just said the name of the title. It's Ouse House. What if way? So I watched a based on a true story movie this week as well.
Was it my video deposition for the court case against us for taking a rake?
The Flintstones, Viva Rock Vegas.
God, really?
A couple of weeks ago...
What prompted you to watch that?
A couple of weeks ago I watched Flintstones 1.
Yeah.
Just wanting to go back and watch all the special effects of the dinosaurs and everything. Because it was... let's say 90% of it was actual characters and 10% was digital.
Yeah.
And then I thought, hey, I've never seen the sequel.
There was a sequel?
There was a sequel to the Flintstones, and this one had the guy from the Full Monty in it playing Fred Flintstone.
Mark Addy.
Yes.
Well, I was telling you about my darling wife and her best friend Lauren.
Wow.
Right?
You're going to hell for that one.
That was a slip. Anyway, my darling wife, this is when we were just starting to date. She was at a supernova in Brisbane where we were filming Geek Speak down there.
Yeah.
And her and Lauren headed along to the Jubilee, I think it was. And they ended up chatting at the bar with Mark Addy and Jerome Flynn. So they were over here. That was at the beginning of Game of Thrones kicking off. When they were first starting, it was the first season of Game of Thrones was out. We were just in the second season.
He only lasted like a couple episodes.
He was Robert Baratheon. He was dead. Spoiler alert! If you haven't watched it, he dies at the end of the first season or whatever. But anyway, so he was over here with Jerome Flynn.
Wow!
And they got chatting. Denny and Loz said that fantastic. Both of them real nice blokes to talk to and everything else. So
I always remember that on YouTube you'll see a lip sync version of Game of Thrones.
Yep.
Where they've made it look like Game of Thrones was an amusement park of like a fair
really
that you would go to, and the voiceover it always gets me because they're there eating donuts and someone's voiced over him going, powdered sugar!
You watch the weirdest fucking shit.
If you see it on YouTube, you will piss yourself laughing
watches-
every time.
He watches the most weird shit, and then he
Every
usually
time.
sends it to me.
Powdered sugar! Oh, sorry.
Have you got anything else?
But,
We're getting towards the end of the... Folks, it's an hour.
Yeah.
we
Thanks
do?
very much for tuning in.
Oh, and of course, Kent Bailey tunes in. My brother tunes in
Right
at
at
the very end.
end.
Good one.
I've kept the best news for last.
Yep.
There is going to be a sequel of Chicken Run made.
Yeah, but no Mel Gibson in it. Because Mel Gibson's done another. Well, no, it was 20 years ago.
It was
He done
20
Anointing.
years ago what he
Right,
said.
but the interviews come out again. Winona Ryder, he said something very offensive to Winona Ryder, and now Mel Gibson is cancelled again. So he's out of Chicken Run too.
Netflix have come on board to do
Did you know you're saying about powdered sugar?
powdered sugar.
There's a line in Chicken Run that does my head in every time, right? When they're talking about the chickens about getting turned into a pie. I don't like pies. I don't want to be in a pie. I don't like gravy, right? And every time I hear that line, I lose my shit.
What about when the guard comes in and the chickens are revolting, and the head woman goes, "At least we agree upon something."
Okay. You got anything else really quickly? Otherwise, we're
No.
No?
There's nothing too famous happening in the world.
because Paul asked. We're going to give him a quick couple of lines.
Hang on, what? What are we doing now?
Summer's evening, on a train bound for nowhere, I met up with a ginger. We were both too tired to sleep, so we took turns of staring at the window at the darkness till the boredom overtook us, and he began to sleep. That's it. That's all you're getting, Paul. I'm not singing The Gambler because it really upsets someone.
I had a bad experience.
One day he's going to tell me what this experience is. But anyway, there you go, Paul. I hope you enjoyed
And
my
Paul
really...
just said, "Don't forget to sing." We sung.
Yeah, we've done it.
He
You've
sung.
got it.
And I said no.
It was really, really bad because I didn't have any music behind me. Normally you and I sing together and we accompany one another.
I had a bad experience. All right. Paul just said, "Great job."
Thank you, Paul. Thank you. Why, thank you. Come back next week and I'll sing something else for you. Anything else? That's it?
All I was going to say is you sound a little bit like you should be a serial killer.
Someone is hitting you up saying, "Do tell," or "So tell."
No, I had a bad experience.
Was it out with me one night?
No.
Was I there?
No.
Oh, good. Because sometimes I've done some weird shit that
No.
probably upset you.
No.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a drink.
Okay.
And calm down.
Hakuna or Tata, son.
Any final questions before we call it a night?
If anyone's interested, was a new trailer of The Handmaid's Tale. I don't know. I've never watched it. Bridget, sorry, couldn't tell you.
Paul said we should sing "Run to Paradise"
No.
next week.
Baby! We might sing Daryl.
You're always gonna be the one.
We might sing Daryl Braithwaite's new song called "Love Songs."
Daryl Braithwaite
He's got
released
a
a
new
new
song.
album and a new song.
And it's really fucking good.
And if you don't know, Pink was supposed to sing the song, and she's gone, no. I've got the perfect person to sing it for you.
She gave it to Daryl Braithwaite.
It's an Australian bloke called Daryl Braithwaite. And
he
everyone
sang
in
a
America
song
went,
called
"Who?"
"The Horses."
Yeah, and they've gone, "Who?" And she pulled out a gun and shot everyone.
We'll go, the fucking countdown's back. It's down to 3. I still got to find out who the fuck hacked me and put 5.
Hang on. Your wife just said thoughts on the announcement of Wedding Crashers 2?
What?
What the heck?
Wedding Crashers. I love that movie.
Oh, Owen Wilson?
And
Vince Vaughn?
Are they back together? You got to tell us.
Is the
Sheriff.
Australian bird in it again?
I don't know. Don't know how to feel about a sequel, Scott says, mate. I don't know either. I enjoyed the first one. Wait and see for a trailer. I'll tell you what I'm going to try and watch over the weekend is the new Will Ferrell movie with Rachel McAdams.
Oh!
The Eurovision one. It's
Is that out?
tonight.
Holy
Today.
shit!
Friday.
Let's
it's out.
wrap this shit up.
We're
I
going
want
home to watch that.
Isla Fisher, yes. Hopefully she's in the new Wedding Crashers.
I was going to say, she's not in Eurovision song. Anyway, there you go. Fantastic. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Special thank you to my good-looking co-hostess with the mostest who
What?
cannot carry a tune tonight.
What? Come on now. Wake Cops on the pots and pans. Thank you very much.
I've been your host, Todd Bailey. Join us back here next week for more geeky madness. See you then.
Bye.